was administered.
Due to the growing number of European nations suspending ASTRA-ZENECA jab use because of safety concerns, World Health Organization have convened a meeting Tuesday to review the matter. Concerns that there could be a link led to a number of European countries temporarily suspending the use of the vaccine, including Germany, Austria, France, Italy, and Spain. Venezuela and Indonesia have also joined the bandwagon of suspending the use of the ASTRA-ZENECA jab. However, Belgium, Poland, the Czech Republic, and Ukraine say they will continue to administer the ASTRA-ZENECA vaccine. The Prime Minister on Tuesday became the first person to receive the ASTRA-ZENECA vaccine in the Southeast Asian nation as a way of boosting public confidence on the jab. However, experts maintain the number of incidents matches the rate typically reported with the general population. The European Medicines Agency is also meeting on Tuesday and is expected to issue its decision on the continued use of the vaccine on Thursday. About 17 million people in the EU and the UK have received a dose of the vaccine. Ruth Wamboy for Channel 1 News.
Let's now shift focus to education matters, where a section of leaders and education officials in Garissa County has raised an alarm of a shortage of teachers in the county. The crisis, according to the stakeholders in the sector, has been worsened after 120 teachers posted to the county failed to report to work.
A teachers' crisis is looming in Garissa County, according to area leaders and education officials. It is reported that at the beginning of the year, when physical learning resumed, 4 sub-counties, namely Holugo, Ijara, Fafi, and Liboi, were expected to receive additional 30 teaching staff each. But that is yet to happen.
And none has reported there, simply because of insecurity factor. And those teachers were posted back either to Balambala Township or Lagdera. And the students in Huluko, as I speak to you, Huluko has high school. Huluko High School is being manned by only the head teacher and some few students who are out leavers. Similarly, Kulan High School has only the principal. The rest are people who are just helping them. Students who are filling to Form 4. And that is the situation as we are speaking.
Garissa County, Kenya National Union of Teachers officials claim insecurity has been cited as the reason behind the delay.
It was an ugly scenario, removing somebody from Garissa Primary School and Garissa High School in the name of insecurity. Well, actually, Garissa town is more secure than even Nairobi itself. So Teacher Service Commission made a unilateral decision in doing that. I will have therefore requested Madam CEO to post back all those teachers that she has posted out of Garissa town, Lagdera sub-county and Balabala sub-county, because those 3 areas are extremely very safe.
I'm talking about the journalists we are talking to. So there is no insecurity as such. We are safe. As a person who leads the security sector in the community, I'm aware that we have 80% of the teachers of our private schools are non-locals. They are very comfortable in Garissa.
A total of 118 primary and secondary schools are reportedly manned by only a head teacher. The absence of teachers in classrooms now raising questions over the preparedness of learners in the area who are expected to sit for their Kenya Certificate of Primary Education and Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education.
Certainly, it's a fact that we have no teachers in 80% of our schools. That environment will certainly produce a very heart-rendering situation after the exams are undertaken.
When they sit for the exams, they will fail. Where are they going to go? The dropouts is increasing day by day, year by year. So we want to ask ourselves, where are these guys going to? And what are they going to do? What will be their role?
The leaders are now calling for a substantive solution from relevant authorities to the issue of shortage of teachers before schools resume in May.
We are now perturbed. What is the solution for this? Do we close those schools? Do we just leave it the way we are? Otherwise, we are on a time bomb.
Kamche Menza for Channel 1 News.
And still on education matters, school-going children or girls in Bamba Ward, Ganze, Kilifi County are set to benefit from a new secondary school after a family in the region donated a 20-acre piece of land for the project. The family says the institution will not only be easily accessible, but will go a long way in encouraging girls to remain in school and avoid being lured into early pregnancies and other societal vices.
Since the onset of COVID-19 in March last year, Kilifi County is among regions that have reported an increase in teenage pregnancies, sexual and gender-based violence. A report by the county government indicates close to 4,000 school-going girls have fallen pregnant in the last 1 year.
Hii changamoto ambayo mmekuwa mkisikia ya mimba za mapema inatokea kwa sababu mtoto atatoka nyumbani pengine kilomita 10 akitafuta shule. Sasa kama njiani kwa sababu atarauka, kuna watu watapatana nao, na kurudi nyumbani pia itakuwa ni kuchelewa. Kuna watu watapatana nao. Wengine huwapatia lift pengine ni bodaboda, na kwa sababu hana nafasi ya kulipa kila wakati. Wakati mwingine anaweza ingiwa na hali ya kwamba afadhali atoe alichonacho, si ndio?
Nevertheless, societal vices attributed to teenage pregnancies in the region could soon be history after a family donated 20 acres of land towards construction of a girls' secondary school.
Wanakutana na mambo mengi sana. Ndovu wanakutana nao, wavulana wanakutana nao njiani. Kuna vitu vingi ambavyo ni matatizo ambavyo wanakutana navyo.
Ningeomba kama itawezekana kuweka usalama zaidi. Kama at least karibu ni ama at least moja tu kwa location, kila location katika hii ward.
According to Ganze Member of Parliament Teddy Mwambire, many girls' schools in the area are located far apart, making access a challenge. The new learning institution will be constructed using finances from the Constituency Development Fund, and it will be the only public girls' secondary school in Bamba Ward and the third public secondary school in Ganze constituency.
Gharama yake ni kubwa kwa sababu ukiangalia hapa tunaanza mahali ambapo hakuna chochote. Ni kiwanja peke yake. Kwa hivyo gharama yake ni kubwa, lakini tumeamua kwenda kiawamu.
Irene Mchuma, Udim, Channel.
Watching Channel 1 lunchtime news at about 10 minutes past the hour. We are taking our first quick break. When we come back, more local news, business and also sports. Welcome back and thanks for keeping it Channel 1. Now we are crossing over to Kisumu, where the county is talking about the measures that they have taken to mitigate the effects of COVID-19. Of course, the governor of Kisumu being the Council of Governors chair in charge of health matters. Let's first of all listen in.
Well, good afternoon to you, Ben Troy Njue. We are coming to you live from Kisumu here in City Hall in Kisumu County. A while ago, the governor of this county, Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, along with Deputy County Commissioner John Cheriot, issued the status of COVID-19 in this particular county, and they issued just a raft of measures that the residents of this county need to adhere to as part of the measures to contain have the virus at bay. And just he mentioned just a number of protocols that although have been enforced for some time now, they noted that the measures have been relaxed and people have gotten back to the normal ways, and that is they said that is probably causing the third wave that is being noted in the entire country. And regarding the vaccination process that is in the process of being rolled out the entire country, I'm joined now by the Director of Public Health and Sanitation in this Kisumu County, that is Your name, please? Fred Oluoch, and he will just tell us the status of vaccination so far in terms of the number of vaccine doses that have been made available to the county and the number of people that have been vaccinated so far. Thank you. You're live on KBC. Kindly tell us your name, your position, and the status of vaccination process so far in the county.
Thank you very much. I'm Frederick Oloch, Director of Public Health and Sanitation, Kisumu County. I want to say that we were allocated 15,000 doses. We have received 7,500 doses. And so far, we have vaccinated 897 healthcare workers. So we still have a balance, and we hope to continue. We rolled out Kisumu County vaccination process at Jaram Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital. That's last Tuesday, 9th of March, and we had our CCM Health, Professor Njue, coming in to get the first jab. We also had our governor, Professor Njue, also coming in and took the jab, and this has really encouraged healthcare workers to come in for the vaccination. We are rolling out to other county hospitals, and yesterday we opened the Kisumu County Referral Hospital, which also started vaccinating yesterday. At least they did 80 vaccinations yesterday. And today we are also opening up Kombewa Hospital. So we are hopeful that the process is going to run on smoothly, and we expect to reach our target of 2,000 this week by the end of the week, given that now we can see the uptake. People are now coming in to get the jabs.
Regarding that, you said it's now a week since the vaccine rollout was made in the county, and just like you mentioned, 897 have been vaccinated so far. What do you think is causing the low turnout for vaccination?
Well, probably at first we had only one vaccination center, so we are doing pre-registration, and we also told other healthcare staffs that we will be moving to various sub-counties, so they didn't have to move. So now that we're moving to those sub-counties, we expect that the numbers are going to go up because it is now made available to them at their sub-counties, and that will be accessible to them at their places of work. Yes.
And probably there is fear among the public, or rather the healthcare, the people targeted in this phase, or the first phase of COVID-19 rollout. What is it that the county is doing to alleviate that fear?
Well, we are doing a lot of risk communication, creating awareness and sensitizing them. So far, we've done a lot of sanitary healthcare workers. We are moving to sub-counties. We've trained in all the sub-counties about COVID vaccine, what is expected, side effects, and what they expect to see, and now the benefits. And as at this time now, we know very well that benefits outweighs risk. And if you look at the risk, to us it is minimal because it's only basically side effects. No serious adverse event has been experienced in Kenya, and that means we still stand with the safety. We are very sure because even the previous studies were done here in Kenya, in Kilifi. So we haven't seen any adverse events even in Kisumu County and even Kenya. So we are very happy, and we can confirm that the vaccine is safe and has been approved by WHO and even our Pharmacy and Postals Board in Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Ben, that was the Director of Public Health and Sanitation in Kisumu County, just giving us an overview of the vaccination process so far in the county. He mentioned that although there is low turnout for the vaccination process so far, but they're doing enough to sensitize people and alleviate the fear that exists among the public, as even as it calls for people to turn up and show up for the vaccination process. That is it from my end, Ben Troy Njue.
Thank you so much, Wycliffe Okech, live from the Kisumu County Governor's Office, talking there to the director who is in charge of vaccination, Frederick Oluoch, who is talking about the county has been awarded 15 doses but has received 7,500 initial doses. 897 healthcare workers have been vaccinated, including the county governor, Professor Anyang' Nyong, and no adverse effects have been reported yet, despite concerns raised by various sectors. Thank you, Wycliffe, for that. Of course, we will bring a much comprehensive report in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on, hundreds of Mbere South sub-county residents living near the Kiambere and Masinga dams risk eviction following an order issued by the Tana Arthi River Development Authority, TARDA, to reclaim the riparian land. The residents have vowed to stay put even as authority maintains they must vacate the land to allow establishment of development projects.
Residents living near Masinga Dam and Kiambere Dam in Machakos, Embu and Kitui counties have already been served with a court order to vacate from the land near the dams to allow the Tana Athi River Development Authority, TARDA, to develop the land. However, residents of Ndunguni claim TARDA has been trying to repossess the land from way back in 1885 and going as far as giving compensation offers.
Tumepata ripoti ya kwamba sisi tunahama na tunahamishwa na TARDA.
Sisi hatutahama na tutaenda.
Elizabeth Siombua, a resident, claims the land is ancestral and the authority should not lay claim to it.
Tuko na watoto na hatujui pale tunawapeleka na wanatuambia tutoke, tutatoka tuende wapi?
Mbeere South Member of Parliament Geoffrey Kingange has termed the looming eviction as illegal, saying residents were not consulted.
Hatutakubali, hatutahama, hatuenda popote. Bodi ya TARDA ije.
They are now appealing to the national government to save them from the eviction.
Moving on, residents of Trans Nzoia County are accusing the police of shielding a clergy they claim has conned them through a fictitious pyramid scheme. Locals claim the clergy had lured them to invest in the scheme with the hope of making a fortune, but they have now been left in tears. Take a look.
The clergy is claimed to have targeted small traders and businesses groups to benefit from the program in order to boost their businesses. Speaking outside Kitale police station, the affected traders said they have gone through frustration to recover their money from the clergy, but nothing has been forthcoming.
Hatujapewa ripoti yoyote kuingia kwa police station wanaficha yule ambaye alikuwa akisimamia. Wamemtolea mlango ya nyuma na ametoroka ameenda. Pesa zilikuwa za watoto kwenda shule, watoto wajaenda shule tangu Januari. Pesa ilikuwa tunafanyia biashara imelala. Mtusaidie serikali, muingilie katikati.
They claim that they had invested between 10,000 shillings up to 200,000. But they have received nothing in return.
Nilichirejesi kwa Income Plaza, nikatipo shilingi 10,000, wakaniambia watanipa 1,100. Na hiyo pesa nilichukua ya mkopo. Kwa kila 1,000 ninalipishwa shilingi 300.
Trans Nzoia County Police Commander Fred Ocheng confirmed that the investigation into the matter is ongoing and the suspect would be arraigned in court once the probe is completed. Reporting for Channel 1, I'm Ruth Mwema.
And on a sad note, President Uhuru Kenyatta has sent a message of condolence to the family of journalist Robin Njogu, who passed on last night at a Nairobi hospital. In his message of encouragement, the president described the late Njogu as a progressive journalist and mentor whose contribution to radio and online journalism has gone a long way in transforming the country's media and communication sector.
Veteran journalist Robin Njogu succumbed to COVID-19 related complications on Monday night after battling the disease for about a month at the Aga Khan Hospital in Nairobi. President Uhuru Kenyatta has led the nation in mourning the death of Robin, describing him as an excellent journalist who mentored many young people in the media. President Kenyatta remembered Njogu as an innovative, resourceful and open-minded journalist whose contribution as a past member of State House Press Service will be cherished forever. Deputy President William Ruto also joined the media fraternity in mourning Njogu, describing him as friendly, humble and a good man. Ruto said the late Njogu was a skilled, dedicated and professional radio journalist who edited and reported on issues openly, independently and honestly. Njogu's death was announced by ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru, who mourned him as a journalist who contributed immensely to the growth of radio news in Kenya. His demise comes days after his mother passed on. At the time of death, Robin Njogu worked as radio managing editor at Royal Media Services. He previously worked at Capital FM and Nation Media Group. Robin is survived by a widow and 3 children. Ben Chumba, reporting for Channel 1 News.
And all Kiambu members of the County Assembly and staff who interacted with the late MUGUGA member of County Assembly Eliud Ngugi have been urged to go for a COVID-19 test and isolate. The late Ngugi is said to have contracted the virus while on a retreat in Mombasa. Kiambu County Governor James Nyoro, while eulogizing the late MCA, urged for extra vigilance, warning locals that the virus was more than ever becoming a national threat.
Have given orders that all the members who attended a meeting with Honorable Thithia last week in Mombasa are going to be tested, and actually that has been kicked off, and it is good that all of us know their status before we go to meet with other people. And I'm urging everyone, don't let anyone come to your meeting unless his status are known to all of you. Neither should I be allowed to come to your meeting unless you know my status.
To the corridors of justice, where GEM Member of Parliament Elisha Odhiambo has moved to court seeking orders to bar the leader of the Communist Party of Kenya, Boka Ngesa, from publishing any defamatory statements against him. In a suit filed at Siaya Law Courts through Orwenjo Kibet and Khalid advocates, Odhiambo is seeking an injunction to stop his political rival from linking him with corruption in the management of the National Government Constituency Development Funds.
Odhiambo wants Ngesa restrained from publishing any further defamatory statements against him.
Not meet the threshold of a defamatory action and entitling you to any damages before a court of law. I don't agree.
Ngesa is claimed to have linked the legislator with embezzling funds meant for a school project in the area.
The defendant stating in the media how he had spent his money building administrative block at one local school, namely Masinde Primary School. And after his sweat, the plaintiff went ahead and claimed credit for what he had done. He had already completed the block.
Odhiambo is further accusing Ngesa of organizing and conducting demonstration against him within GEM constituency and using derogatory remarks.
He went ahead to state that the head teacher of the school and the MP, the plaintiff, had collaborated overnight to steal money.
The legislator claims he has not been summoned by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission on any corruption issue. Timothy Kipnusu for Channel 1 News.
9 candidates have lined up for the RURII Ward MCA seat in Nyandarua County in the by-election set for May the 18th. Nyandarua County Governor Francis Kimemia says he is confident that the ruling Jubilee Party will clinch the seat.
Voters in RURII Ward, Nyandarua County are set to go for a by-election following the death of their MCA John Mburu 2 months ago. The race set to ignite a bitter political rivals between the Jubilee Party and the new United Democratic Alliance. Already 5 Jubilee candidates will face off in the party nominations set for March 20th. Among them is the daughter of the deceased Mary Mburu, Peter Dhenji, former MCA Wahome Kamoche, Festus Kamau and David Njoroge. Muraya Githaige and Mbugua Mugo are vying on a UDA ticket.
Tumekubaliana na tumeongea na chama cha Jubilee ambacho ndicho chama ambacho kilikuwa kikishikilia huu wadhifa wa wodi ya RURII kwamba wataweza kutayarisha na kuandaa uchaguzi ambao ni wa haki na wasawa.
Nyandarua Governor Francis Kimemi exuded confidence that the Jubilee Party will clinch the seat, saying all the candidates contesting on the seat are vowed to unite after the primaries.
Mimi nimehakikishia yule ambaye atashinda tutamshika mkono kama candidate wetu wa Jubilee, ili pia akishindana na wale wengine ambao watasimama tuone ya kwamba Jubilee itachukua hiki kiti cha RURII ward. Na wananchi hapa wamenihakikishia kwamba wata make sure hiki kiti kitachukuliwa na chama cha Jubilee.
Field, a leading international aid group, says children as young as 11 years are being beheaded by Islamist militants in Mozambique's northern province of Cabo Delgado. More than 2,000 people have been killed and 430,000 have abandoned their homes in the gas-rich province since an Islamist insurgency began in 2017.
A report by humanitarian aid organization Save the Children said the militants stormed a football pitch in a village in Mozambique's northern province of Cabo Delgado into an execution ground where they decapitated and chopped bodies. The state media reported that several people were also beheaded in another village. The militants are linked to the Islamic State IS group. Some people have reportedly died trying to flee the area in overloaded boats that have capsized. Elsewhere, hundreds of people joined a new vigil for Sarah Everand on Monday, despite the Home Secretary warning against such gatherings. Priti Patel said she understood public anger over the 33-year-old killing, but urged people not to protest while COVID-19 restrictions were in place. The police said a demo will be illegal under the coronavirus lockdown regulations, but the women and their lawyers asked the High Court to make a declaration that will force the police to think again. Sarah went missing while walking home from a friend's house on March 3rd this year. Her body was found in Woodland in Kent, and Metropolitan Police Officer Wayne Cousins has been charged with marketing executive kidnap and murder. Reporting for KBC Channel 1, I'm Jacinta Nyambura.
We are taking our short break, a second short break, but when we come back, I'll be telling you some concerns that Kenyans continue to raise when it comes to matters fuel that has really on the rise since the end of last year. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Moving on, Kenyans continue to express concerns over the rising cost of living, with a cross-section of Southern Nyanza leaders urging the government to prioritize fixing the economy. The leaders questioned the rationale behind the recent fuel price increment, saying that other East African countries who imported their crude oil from the same source had lower prices.
Tough economic times continue to affect Kenyans, with the recent fuel prices hike worsening the situation. Leaders in Nyanza are now calling on the government to step in and fix the economy. They petitioned the Petroleum Regulatory Body, EPRA, to consider reviewing the current prices with a view to making life affordable for Kenyans.
Nashangaa sana wakati hii board ambayo ina regulate mafuta wanaendelea kuongeza bei ya mafuta, na kila kitu inaendelea kupanda siku baada ya ingine, ili hali COVID iko na economy haijafunguliwa kikamilifu.
Gharama ya maisha itaenda juu, bei ya kila kitu itaenda juu,
Hiyo ni shida kabisa na watu wengine bado hawajarecover kutoka COVID.
They further called for reinstatement of tax relief measures and introduction of subsidies to the unemployed to cushion Kenyans from the effects of the pandemic. Elsewhere, the National Transport and Safety Authority and the Postal Corporation of Kenya have inked a strategic business deal that will see Posta provide logistics and delivery services to the public of driving licenses, logbooks, PSV badges and other documents countrywide. The service will take effect by the end of March. NTSA Director General said the partnership would help the authority decongest their premises by having documents delivered to Kenyans.
The rationale behind the same-day service delivery was to relieve the pain and bane of Kenyans getting services when they go across the country.
The safety of the goods, that is what we need to start working on. People are becoming lazier, they're becoming more fearful, they become more careful of their lives. So basically our job is to make your life better and comfortable at your own comfort.
Betty Kiptum, Channel 1 Business.
Elsewhere, beef farmers in Samburu are now moving from traditional cattle keeping practices to improved breeds in efforts to realize increased profits. The county government is working with farmers to ensure successful adoption of the new breeds to bolster their main economic activity.
The need to adopt improved beef varieties has seen livestock farmers and breeders from Kajiado share their experiences with Samburu farmers. Government officials present during the Farmers' Field Day on beef cattle breed improvement and value addition noted that shifting from traditional cattle keeping practices will help realize benefits and profits that come with livestock value chain addition.
Kama serikali ya county tutaendelea kufanya capacity building, tutaendelea pia kusource breeds ambayo pia tutatumia hapa ili kubadilisha mifugo ya wakulima wetu.
Despite the COVID-19 regulations disrupting the livestock system, livestock production remains the major occupation of the indigenous population for Samburu and Kajiado counties. The Samburu County government plans to improve livelihoods of the farmers by sourcing new technologies and breeds, including Saiwal and Boran breeds.
Tunataka kubadilisha mbegu ili ifike mbegu ya Saiwal. Saiwal ina nyama ya kutosha, pia Saiwal ina maziwa. Na kwa hivyo tukiwa na mbegu ya Saiwal, wananchi na hasa wakulima watapata fedha zaidi.
The demand for beef in Samburu County is 10 tons on a daily basis. And there's also that external market, which we have not met.
Farmers were also trained on the best management practices that seek to equip them with knowledge on how to improve their beef farming. For Channel 1 News, I'm Wangari Washuri.
Moving on, cotton farmers in Teso North region are set to enjoy a new market for their produce following the revival of the Malakisi cotton ginnery. The ginnery roared back to life after 25 years of dormancy with installation of new ginning machines.
The revival of ginnery has only started, with area leaders noting that the completion of the ginnery will need more than 200 million shillings, urging the national government to support the project. They added that the revival of the ginnery will create massive employment opportunities to youth and boost economic growth of the two towns. They have challenged the youths to join technical and vocational training institutions to benefit with job opportunities once the ginnery is operational.
Sehemu hii pamba ndio ukulima ya pamba ndio ile ambayo ilijulikana kama cash crop hata zamani. Hatukukuwa na cash crop pengine sehemu hii.
It used to produce cooking oil, and also it used to produce cotton cake. It used also to produce soap, hii sabuni ya miti. So we want again to go back to bring new machines for producing all that, to generate employment for our young people.
Already 53 tons of seed cotton have been bought from farmers from Teso region and parts of Bungoma.
Across borders, Facebook has agreed to pay Australia's largest print media, News Corp, for journalism from its local mastheads. The deal has been secured just weeks after Australia passed a controversial world-first law aimed at making tech platforms pay for news content, but the value of the 3-year contract in Australia is yet to be disclosed. This and more in our international business roundup.
Australia controls about 70% of newspaper circulation in Australia, with mastheads including The Australian, The Daily Telegraph and The Herald Sun. News Corp already has a different deal with Facebook for its US media titles. It involves the platform paying for stories to include in its Facebook News tab, a product not available in Australia. Battles over the law's design led Facebook to suddenly block all access to Australian news content on its site last month. The news ban lasted for about a week before the Australian government made concessions and passed on the law on February 25th. Meanwhile, the EU has begun legal action against the UK over its alleged breach of the Northern Ireland Protocol. The protocol is part of the Brexit deal relating to Northern Ireland and has led to the creation of a new trade border between the Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK. It could lead to the UK having to defend its actions at the European Court of Justice. The European Commission's Vice President said he hopes the issue can be resolved without further legal action. Finally, one of the world's most popular dating apps is adding a background check feature to its platform in the US. Later this year, Tinder will allow users to view public records information of prospective dates using the name or mobile number. The move comes as user safety for digital dating has come under scrutiny. Match Group, Tinder's company, plans to include the feature across all of its platforms. For Business News Channel 1, I'm Wangare Washuri.
Closer home, rural electrification and Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation says it will complete installation of more than 2,000 transformers across the country by June this year. Speaking during a Parliament Energy Committee meeting, the corporation's MD Peter Mbogwa faulted Kenya Power for failing to maintain the already installed transformers, curtailing the last-mile connectivity program.
An additional 2,000 transformers will be installed in remote areas in a bid to connect people in far-flung areas to the national power grid. According to the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, it intends to clear its 2020-2021 financial year projects by June this year.
It was because of that, and we are going to ensure that these are executed. And our target is, come June, we have executed the projects.
However, the corporation blames Kenya Power for failing to maintain the already installed transformers, creating inefficiency in power distribution.
When you look at the question on the failed transformer again, the way it works is once we do the project and we give them to Kenya Power, they'll carry out the maintenance, operation and maintenance. For all transformers that are failed, they're supposed to report back.
We should stop apportioning blame from today. You have your mandate as constituted or established. KPLC have their mandate as whoever is failing now, this committee is going to take action. Because again, we cannot continue spending billions of money.
Speaking during a National Assembly Energy Committee hearing on installation of transformers progress, the corporation's manager, Director Peter Mbogwa, absolved the corporation for malfunctioning transformers, saying the utility firm failed on its mandate.
Transformers which are reported not working, we share responsibilities in terms of our SLAs, in terms of who is going to do it, who is not going to do, who is going to handle which ones. As of today again, we were going to report in terms of the ones which are the RURII and the ones which are the Kenya Power.
The Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporations plan to spend 15 billion shillings to increase commercial and domestic connections across the country.